Hare Krishna. So welcome back. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya. Nityanarayan Shaiva Nirottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayat Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhakti Om Ajnanatimindasya Jnananjana Chakshurunnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nandeham Shri Guru Shri Vitapatakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Savarjatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vikriyam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishnu He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Rupesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Eva Cha Patitanam Paradebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna Padaya Krishna Vasudevaya Shri Giri Bhajan Sari Sri Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasudevaya Shri Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pacha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lingayati Viram Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Vinata Hare Krishna. So we are reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1. So we are now reading text 2. So please remember that this first canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada literally has put everything, all his message, whatever he wanted to teach us is complete in this first canto. So it's a manual for our day-to-day life in this material world and distinguished from the spiritual realm and how to bridge from the material to the spiritual. It's a great adventure. So please everyone follow there. Saranam satam Vedyam vatstavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayonulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamune Krite Kimva Pare Ishvaraha Sadhyuridhyavarudyate Praptitibhi Shushrushubhi Takshanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. So this is the first point, right? Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. Dharma projitaha, kaitava, covered by fruitive intention. This Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth. This Bhagavatam propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are
Mataji,
fully.
which verse is this?
Verse 2, text 2.
Text 2, but
Chapter 1, text 2.
first canto. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I took out different chapter. Sorry, Brahmaji.
Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Right, so now Prabhupada is going to analyze this verse. So I hope we are ready. We can take notes. I don't know, my book is full of notes now. Or you can pen and paper. So religion includes 4 primary subjects, namely dharma, art, kam, and moksha. All right? Dharma, art, kam, and moksha. Irreligious life is a barbarous condition. Irreligious life is a barbarous. So Prabhupada is saying those who are barbarous, they have no religion. Indeed, human life begins when religion begins. Indeed, human life begins when, so meaning that we are a human being when we follow some religious principles. Eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating are the 4 principles of animal life. These are common both to animals and to human beings. But religion is the extra function of the human being. Without religion, human life is no better than animal life. So without religion, human life is no better than animal. Therefore, in human society, there is some form of religion which aims at self-realization and which makes a reference to man's eternal relationship with God. So we got this one point, right? This one point that if there is no religious principles, then we are animals, right? Okay, Ashwini, you can read.
thank you very much, Mataji. In the lower stages of human civilization, there is always competition to lord it over the material nature, or in other words, there is a continuous rivalry to satisfy the senses. Driven by such consciousness, man turns to religion. He thus performs pious activities or religious functions in order to gain something material. But if such material gains are obtainable in other ways, then so-called religion is neglected. But if such material gains are obtainable in other ways, then so-called religion is neglected. Okay. This is the situation in modern civilization. Man is thriving economically, so at present he is not very interested in religion. Churches, mosques, or temples are now practically vacant. Men are more interested in factories, shops, and cinemas than in religious places which were erected by their forefathers. This practically proves that religion is performed for some economic gains. E- um, this practically proves that religion is performed for some economic gains. Economic gains are needed for sense gratification. Often, when one is baffled in the pursuit of sense gratification, it takes to salvation and tries to become one with the Supreme Lord. Consequently, all these states are simply different types of sense gratification.
What point you got from there?
So many points, Mataji. The most important point is that the religion people were basically following religion for material and economic gain. And now that gain, which is being given by science or commercial enterprise, then or our interest in religion has reduced.
Why?
Because now other things are giving those things which earlier religion was giving.
Mm. Right. So Prabhupada said this is the proof. This is the proof that people they perform they practice religion for material gain.
Gains, yeah.
All right. So when they're finding other ways of getting
Uh,
material gains, right?
mm,
Like I just heard Prabhupada said that in business, there is a law, according to the Vedic law, that you are allowed to make only 25% profit maximum.
yeah,
Right?
okay.
The margin, right? Margin meaning
Yeah,
small,
yeah. Margin. It's,
double,
I think,
triple.
15% or something I heard somewhere. I think we had Bhagavad
No,
Gita or
yeah,
something.
Prabhupada, I just heard this morning, he said 25,
10,
a
25.
maximum of 25, a
Okay.
maximum of 25%. This is
Okay.
your margin,
Oh,
all right?
oh.
But we have put so much. Anyway, so meaning that you are always dependent on the Supreme Lord. When the profit was regulated by religion, so you are dependent on the Supreme Lord for the moment. Yeah, so uh, yeah, so now because we've broken all rules, so we put 50%, 100%, 200%, whatever we feel like, right? So irreligious life is barbarous condition. Like tariff, right? You can just decide whatever tariff you want to put, you put, right? It's up to your whims. It's religion because they have found other means to make money, right? Not dharma. But it is short-lived. The benefit that comes from these other sources, they are very short-lived and they create so much misery. Shikala, you want to read?
Thank you, Mataji.
So you have to tell me what is the main point of this part.
In Hindi, I will try. In the Vedas, the above mentioned four activities are prescribed in the regulative way so that there will not be any undue competition for sense gratification. But Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental to all these sense gratificatory activities. It is purely transcendental literature which can be understood only by the pure devotees of the Lord who are transcendental to competitive sense gratification. In the material world, there is keen competition between animal and animal, man and man, community and community, nation and nation. But the devotees of the Lord rise above such competitions. They do not compete with the materialists because they are on the path back to Godhead, where life is eternal and blissful. Such transcendentalists are non-envious and pure in heart. In the material world, everyone is envious of everyone else, and therefore there is competition. But the transcendental devotees of the Lord are not free from material envy, are not only free from material envy, but are well wishers to everyone. And they strive to establish a competition-less society with God in the center. The contemporary socialist conception of a competition-less society is artificial because in the socialist state there is competition for the post of dictator. From the point of view of the Vedas or from the point of view of common human activities, sense gratification is the basis of material life. There are three paths mentioned in the Vedas. One involves fruitive activities to gain promotion to better planets. That's mentioned in the Vedas. One involves fruitive activities to gain promotion to better planets. Another involves worshipping different demigods for promotion to the planets of the demigods. And another involves realizing the absolute truth and his impersonal feature and becoming one with him.
Establishing the. You can't hear me?
No, now
You can't
Now.
hear me?
I can hear you.
It is getting cut intermittently.
Can you hear me?
Now, yes.
So this is a description of the comparison between
Material and the materialistics and devotees.
Okay, so this is a comparison between the Vedas and Srimad Bhagavatam. Because this verse here is describing that this Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth. All right, as opposed to Vedas. So the Vedas, they're teaching us about dharma, artha, moksha, right? Whereas Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental. In this material world, there is competition between all beings. There's competition among the animals, there's competition among men, there's competition between communities, nations, etc. But the devotees, they don't compete with anybody. Why is there competition? Because of envy. And the Vedas is regulating that envy. Instead of just making people all fight like barbarians who grab, capture, so the Vedas, they regulate this tendency for competition. But Srimad Bhagavatam is going beyond even the Vedas. Srimad Bhagavatam is showing us how we can come to how to become non-envious. To become completely free from envy. And not just being free from envy, but actually now we go to the positive. Negative is envy, not being envious is neutral, but more than that, how to become well-wisher. And this is the reason why we preach, why we distribute books, in order to give up our envy for others. Because when you become a well-wisher to others, then automatically you are forced to give up your envy. So the Vedas are showing us three paths mentioned in the Vedas: Karmakan, Jnanakan, and Upasanakan. So Karmakan is the fruitive activities by which we can get promotion to better planets. Then Upasana Kans is worship of the devas for promotion to the planets of the devas. And then Dhyana Kan, which is impersonalism. Right, Rashmi, you can read.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. The impersonal aspect of the absolute truth is not the highest. Above the impersonal feature is the Paramatma feature, and above this is the personal feature of the absolute truth of Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavatam gives information about the absolute truth in his personal feature. It is higher than impersonalist literatures and higher than the Gyan Kand section division of the Vedas. It is even higher than the Karma Kand division and even higher than the Upasana Kand division, because it recommends the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. In the Karma Kand, there is competition to reach heavenly planets for better sense gratification. And there is similar competition in the Gyan Kand and in the Upasana Kand. The Srimad Bhagavatam is superior to all of these because it aims at the supreme truth, which is the substance or the root of all categories. From Srimad Bhagavatam, one can come to know the substance as well as the categories. The substance is the absolute truth, the supreme Lord, and all emanations are relative forms of energy.
Okay, so this is an elaboration on the previous paragraph. Is it clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Go on.
Nothing is apart from the substance, but at the same time, the energies are different from the substance. This conception is not contradictory. Srimad Bhagavatam explicitly promulgates simultaneously one and different philosophy of the Vedanta Sutra, which begins with the Janmayasya Sutra. This knowledge that the energy of the Lord is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord is an answer to the mental speculators' attempt to establish the energy as the absolute. When this knowledge is factually understood, is the conceptions of monism and dualism to be imperfect. Development of this transcendental consciousness, grounded in the conception of simultaneously one and different, leads one immediately to the stage of freedom from the threefold miseries. The threefold miseries are those miseries which arise from the mind and body, those miseries inflicted by other living beings, those miseries arising from natural catastrophes over which one has no control. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the surrender of the devotee onto the absolute person. The devotee is fully aware that he is one with the absolute and at the same time in the eternal position of servant to the absolute. In the material conception, one falsely thinks himself the lord of all he surveys, and therefore is always troubled by the threefold miseries of life. But as soon as one comes to know his real position as transcendental servant, he at once becomes free from all miseries. As long as the living entity is trying to master material nature, there is no possibility of his becoming servant of the Supreme. Service to the Lord is rendered in pure consciousness of one's spiritual identity. By service, one is immediately freed from material encumbrances.
Okay, so what is this about now?
So this is explaining the Abheda Bheda Tattva, that principle that everything is one with the Supreme, but simultaneously it is different because we are all everything. Everything is an energy of Krishna. So the energy of the Lord is coming from the Lord. So even though it is different, it is one with Krishna because it is coming from Krishna. So it is simultaneously one, but it is different. So that bit was explained in the initial bit.
Then what is the effect of
So the-
understanding this?
So when one understands that, so the effect is that when we understand that we are one with Krishna, but we are different. We understand we are the energy of the Lord. Then we understand that our eternal position, that we are servant to the Absolute. So then, when he understands that he is servant of the Absolute, he becomes free. He understands his real position, and then he becomes free from all miseries.
Which misery?
The threefold miseries. The misery which comes from the mind and body, the misery inflicted by other living beings, and those miseries arising from natural catastrophe. So he becomes free from these three miseries. So finally, when one understands this, that he is a servant of Krishna, he starts serving the Lord.
So what is the root cause of our misery?
Yeah, our ignorance.
Is the root cause of our misery?
Vidya.
We
Our-
think
What is
Lord,
that ignorance? What is that ignorance?
we are the Lord of all the systems. We think that we are the Lord.
What is that? Yes. Our ignorance is that we think we are the Lord. Right? We are not accepting that we are servant. So as soon as I accept my position as servant, then I can become free from the three miseries. 1 minute, a couple of minutes to. Sorry, my voice was just getting strained. So let's write in red pen in our notebook. What is our problem? The problem is that we are not ready to accept that we are servant of Krishna. So everything will get sorted out if we just accept that we are a servant of Krishna and we are not God.
Mataji,
In the material conception, one falsely thinks himself the Lord of all his servants. And therefore, he's always troubled by the threefold miseries of life. That as soon as one comes to know his real position on the transcendental servant, he at once becomes free from all miseries. As long as the living entity is trying to master material nature, there is no possibility of his becoming servant of the Supreme. Service to the Supreme is rendered in pure consciousness of one's spiritual identity. By service, one is immediately freed from material encumbrances. So everybody, we are all, each and every one of us, we know we make a plan, and that plan is with myself in the center. We are thinking, how can I achieve this, either for myself or for my family, or my society, or my community, but minus Krishna. So as soon as I understand that I'm not doing this for, I should do this for Krishna, whether it's accepted by Krishna according to the rules and regulations. As soon as I accept this one point, then this comes service for Krishna. Yes, Rashmi. What's the
Mataji, we become free if we all understand, no, that we are servant. At least theoretically we understand, but we are not becoming free from these miseries.
Papa is saying, as soon as one comes to know his real position as transcendental service, he at once becomes free from all miseries. The miseries are actually inflicted in the mind. Physical, other people, or the climate or calamities. Actually, the misery is inflicted externally. It happens, but actually the sensation is experienced by the mind. So when we dissociate from the mind, then it doesn't affect. This is how we are able to tolerate our diseases, or what the way other people behave towards us. Whatever. Floods, right now it's all floods, hurricane, I don't know, earthquake. There is a target for everything. As soon as one comes to know his real position, so meaning that we are not yet transcendental, right? So therefore we feel it. But as soon as we accept and we work in that way, then we're not part of the world. We are kept away. We are just kept away from these things. Let's move on. All right, Bhanaji, please read.
Krishna Mataji. Over and above, Srimad Bhagavatam is a personal commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Sri Vyasadeva. It was written in the maturity of his spiritual life through the mercy of Narad. Sri Vasudeva is the authorized incarnation of Narayan, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, there is no question as to his authority. He is the author of all other Vedic literature. Yet he recommends the study of Srimad Bhagavatam above all others. In other Puranas, there are different methods set forth by which one can worship the demigods. But in the Bhagavatam, only the Supreme Lord is mentioned. The Supreme Lord is the total body, and the demigods are the different parts of that body. Consequently, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, one does not need to worship the demigod. The Supreme Lord becomes fixed in the heart of the devotee immediately. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam as the spotless Purana, and distinguished it from all other Puranas. The proper method for
1 minute. So now comes again about, see, this is describing the specific position of Srimad Bhagavatam over all other Vedic literature. So one section of the Vedas is mentioning about the demigods. And here, this Srimad Bhagavatam is above all this demigod worship. And that's why, we say Krishna, Krishna, everything is Krishna, Krishna. So that's why other people become upset with us. We say this Hare Krishna people, they only Krishna. And we say demigod worship, they are so offended, right? So, but the point that if they're able to understand that the purpose of demigod worship is for sense enjoyment, whereas the worship of Krishna is to give pleasure to Krishna. That's the only difference. Otherwise, worship is worship. What does it matter? This one, that one, right? But it's all those 33 crore demigods, we are worshipping them for sense gratification, to get something from them. Whereas Krishna, it's just to please him. So natural. Just to please him, so natural. Shita, if you're able to read Rakshita. Are you able to read? Or Bhakti Shakti, if you're able to read, you're coming up.
Mataji, actually, I joined late and I was because I had a patient, so I am not able to find my Bhagavatam. It's first canto. So
Okay.
next time I'll keep it ready. Sorry for that.
All right. Okay. Yes, so we are on first canto, chapter 1, text 2.
Yes, Mataji. From next time I'll keep it ready.
All right, so Ashwini.
Yeah, Mataji. The proper method for receiving this transcendental message is to hear it submissively. A challenging attitude cannot help one realize this transcendental message. One particular word is used herein for proper guidance. This word is sushrushu. One must be anxious to hear this transcendental message. The desire to sincerely hear is the first qualification. Let's for
1 minute. So again, the attitude, the method to receive. So attitude is submissive. If we just want to find fault, we are not ready to hear and inquire. So the desire to sincerely hear the first qualification, we want to understand. Just like yesterday, somehow I came across one documentary. It was one man whose sister became a devotee in Africa. So I didn't completely see the whole documentary, but I could see how that man, he was an African. He was a African, meaning this Dutch African, So he was like he was saying, he was not close to his sister, but somehow he connected with her, and he went to her house. I think they were in Ghana or somewhere, and so he was just examining her life and trying to figure her out. So that was like a genuine, sincere desire to know what she's doing. I don't know whether this person, it seemed that he made that documentary. So I don't know whether finally he got convinced, because I didn't watch the whole story. But I thought that was that's the right attitude. So he was examining her life, he was examining her husband's life. Then he was going out with them in the temple and when they were going out for food for life, etc., etc. He was just joining everything. he was submissive, ready to know and questioning, and desire to sincerely hear. That's the first qualification. So this is how we become devotees of truth. We want to know. Even we have doubts, okay, but we want to know. So continue.
The fortunate persons are not at all interested in hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam. The process is simple, but the application is difficult. Unfortunate people find enough time to hear idle social and political conversations. But when invited to attend a meeting of devotees to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, they suddenly become reluctant. Sometimes professional readers of the Bhagavatam immediately plunge into the confidential topics of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, which they seemingly interpret as sex literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the beginning. Those who are fit to assimilate this work are mentioned in this shloka. One becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. The intelligent persons with thoughtful discretion can be assured by the great sage Vyasdev that he can realize the Supreme Personality directly by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam without undergoing the different stages of realization set forth in the Vedas. One can be lifted immediately to the position of Paramhamsa simply by agreeing to receive this message.
So, so now, so here Prabhupada is saying that the process is simple, but application is difficult. And what is the difficulty? We're not ready to give time to hear Bhagavatam. Right? Prabhupada is saying we are ready to sit and gossip about social and political conversation, but we're not ready to come together and study this Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada is saying that to come to this point of sincerely, with great determination to read and hear Bhagavatam every day, it has to be practice of lifetimes. All right, so I hope that each and every one of us will realize the great service that Srila Prabhupada's mission is doing. When we are literally forcing people, take a book, read the book, give a donation, take prasadam, because this soul has been in this material world since time immemorial and is fixed in his idea that he will stay in this material world. The idea of liberation is not coming in the mind, right? So therefore, each and every donation that you're able to collect from anyone, each and every book that you're able to distribute, each and every preaching that you are able to do anywhere to anybody, this is adding to the sukriti of the person. Just right here. Those who are fit to assimilate this work are mentioned in this shloka. One becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. So, without hesitation and with our full energy, as much as we're capable of, we should go on giving this opportunity to people to become pious. Now, we don't want them to become pious just for sense gratification, right? We want bhakti sukriti. Bhakti sukriti. To give out of love for Krishna. Actually, when we do book distribution, etc., people say, okay, just to please you, let me take it. Is it true, Rashmi? You have that experience? It's okay, just to please you,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes. Sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, just to please you.
Yeah.
All right. So this is such a good attitude. Such a good attitude. Right? Because then it is the heart is opening to please Krishna. Right. So let's try text 3.
Mataji, I have some questions on this verse.
Okay.
Mataji, actually, I had asked you this question in text message, but in the message, I can understand it's not possible for you to give me detailed answer. So, Mataji, I was comparing the 6th canto verses which you're teaching with this verse. So, in that, the Yamadutas are saying that Vedas are telling Vedas constitute dharma, and the Vedas are telling us that follow this dharma. This verse is saying reject all the dharma which is being propounded by the Vedas.
And that's exactly what the Vishnu Dutta did. They rejected the Vedic injunctions, right? That's exactly what they did. According to the Vedic injunction, Ajamil was supposed to go to hell. But according to the Bhagavad Dharma, Ajamil, he unconsciously was progressing because he was chanting the name of Narayan over a long period of time. So the message of Bhagavatam, the potency of Bhagavatam superseded the Vedic injunctions. Otherwise, his path according to Dharma is barbarous, right? And he should go to hell. But he was chanting the name of Narayan unconsciously for a long time. So the philosophy of, and that's our good fortune, all of us, right?
Yes, Mataji. And Mataji, here also, it is saying, what is the need of any other scripture? So when it says, what is the need of any other scripture? This word scripture is not standing for the scripture which is propounding bhakti. So my understanding is the word scripture here stands for other literatures. No, is that correct understanding?
Well, it's saying in this paragraph, over and above the Srimad Bhagavatam is a personal commentation in the Vedanta Sutra by Srila Vyasadeva. It was written in the maturity of his spiritual life to the mercy of Narada. Sri Vyasadeva is the authorized incarnation of Narayan, the personal Godhead. Therefore, there is no question as to his authority. He is the author of all other Vedic literatures, yet he recommends the study of Srimad Bhagavatam above all others. In other Puranas, there are different methods set forth by which one can worship the demigods. But in the Bhagavatam, only the Supreme Lord is mentioned. All right.
Yes, Mataji, I got it now.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
continue to read.
Mataji,
The Supreme Lord is the total body and the demigods of the different parts of that body. Consequently, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, one does not need to worship the demigods. The Supreme Lord becomes fixed in the heart of the devotee immediately. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam as the spotless Puran and distinguishes it from all other Puranas. All right?
Yes. Yes, this answers it, this paragraph. Yes, Mataji. But Mataji, the Supreme Lord is already present as Paramatma within the heart, no? So how does the culture of knowledge establish him? He is already present.
He reveals the Supreme Person Godhead. Are you conscious of Paramatma in your heart? Did
No.
you even read Paramatma in your heart until you read Prabhupada's books? Not only you read it a million times until somebody came and told you, you know, this Paramatma, you weren't even thinking about it, right? Just like we read this whole paragraph entirely, and still you ask me the question, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhupada gave, he's very systematically, he's explaining everything.
Yes, Mataji.
I mean, that's why we are sitting and studying together. I think we should stop here, because if I start, then it's going to be, I can't stop. I won't be able to stop.
Mataji, we have this AI companion here.
Sorry?
We have this AI companion here, one option, AI companion. This
Yeah.
makes notes.
It makes notes.
Yeah. So it comes so nicely what you spoken. It
Hmm.
will give full transcription.
Where
Oh,
is
really?
it?
Yeah. This gives full transcription. Who said what? That also it gives. Otherwise, it gives in gist what you have spoken. If you speak, then it makes notes. It's a basically AI, note taking AI.
Oh,
You can, I mean, we can put it after that. We can just read it also. What notes? What are the important
we don't
points?
want all that. We want everybody to pick up their pen and paper and book, and make their own notes, right?
Not this.
Yeah, we don't want all this.
No, that will be good, Mataji, mm,
For who?
for all of us again to go through it all over again, because some points we miss out. And because you said you cover so many nice points. Not every point we can make up.
But I'm only reading the book. So that's
No,
what
you're reading and then after that you're explaining.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I know. So, but when I'm explaining, I'm taking from the paragraph itself, isn't it? And believe me, none of you are going to read the notes. So what's the use?
Oh, we will read the notes.
I mean, it's a lot of work for all of us, right? You know, doing all that posting. Already I'm posting, all these videos are being posted, on YouTube. We are downloading and posting. A lot of work we're already doing. And hearing, we heard here, no? One must
Yeah, we
be
can hear.
anxious. One must be anxious to hear this transcendental message. The word is shushu.
Shushu. Shushu.
All right, so one particular word is used herein for proper guidance. This word is shushu. One must be anxious to hear this transcendental message.
Anxious.
Right? So those of us who are anxious to hear the transcendental, we are present, right? If we are not anxious, we are not present. At least maximally, right? We put it 75% attendance, right? This Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Prabhupada said it's 75%. All right. So the desire to sincerely hear is the first qualification. Because we are tired of notes. Right? Tired of notes. I'll tell you frankly, like let's say Bhagavad Gita. I have taught Bhagavad Gita cover to cover at least 20, 25 times. All right, cover to cover. All right. And if you give me the book again, I will make new notes. Right? What's the use of notes? Nobody reads notes. Make your own notes. Read, listen, hear, read, hear again, the lecture. We missed anything, how much work can we do? So we are posting all the lectures. Again, I have somebody who's doing all this work, it is a lot of things because Facebook is deleting these videos. So we are downloading and shifting to YouTube. We have to open a YouTube channel for this. I don't know how many have subscribed. So already so much work we are doing. It's going to be our library. And this Bhagavatam, I also have it audio recorded. I have taught before. I don't know whether I said the same thing, I don't know yet. So much is available. Plus, so many other devotees have given classes. BIHE has the entire, 10 tools, everything recorded for all our reference. So please, pen and paper. Otherwise, you will sit and say, okay, AI pop up. Rationally. Okay, yeah, the bell is ringing and confirming.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.